Greetings and welcome to Match Play TV. I'm Ray Adams, here today in Fountain Hills, Arizona at Eagle Mountain Golf Club. This is a wonderful Troon property, and I invite you to come out and play at Eagle Mountain. Filming here today, my guest is the sensational, maybe one of the hottest players in the world right now, Steve Alker. Stephen, welcome to Match Play.
Thanks, Ray. Thanks for having me. Appreciate
Well, what a rise that you've had in the last, 3 months, and we're going to talk about that with Stephen, and maybe you and I can learn something from what's happened with Stephen Alker. Stephen, let's get back to beginnings, though. You're a New Zealander. They call you Kiwis.
Mm-hmm.
Why do they call people from New Zealand a Kiwi?
Well, Kiwi's our national bird, so it's an honour to be called a Kiwi, basically, and it's a great place to be from.
Well, New Zealand is an island, and it's about 5 million people in population total. And I say an island, there's many islands. Mm-hmm. And that's about the size of Phoenix, Arizona, where you moved to about 12 years ago, here in Fountain Hills.
That's right.
So what's it like to come from New Zealand, an island country surrounded by ocean on the other end of the world, and be here in Phoenix, Arizona?
Yeah, totally different atmosphere, and for my family to come here, huge change. Obviously, we looked at different places throughout the country, Florida, looked in Dallas and Texas, but we had friends kind of all over. But we just felt Phoenix was a good fit for us for weather. The golf was obviously is beautiful, and we can't beat it.
All right, tell me about golf in New Zealand. For those of us that have never been there, what's it like to be in New Zealand and play golf?
Well, I think what comes to mind is just accessibility. I mean, there's so many golf courses. A lot of country courses are very cheap to play, $10, $15.
Really?
You don't even have to go into the pro shop. You just pay in the suggestion box or pay box, and then away you go and play your golf. So
really,
it's incredible. But then we've got a lot more resort courses coming in now, which are a bit more expensive and exclusive, but still very accessible to the public to play.
So growing up in New Zealand, did you play a lot of different sports, or when did you get involved in golf?
Yeah, I did. I played soccer. We call it football down there.
Right,
but soccer.
Football.
And then cricket. I played. I tried everything basically. And then golf, had a bunch of buddies who played, and my dad actually run the junior program at my club.
Okay.
So that's kind of how I got into it. And then Dad played, obviously, and then it just kind of rolled from there. I played with my buddies, and we played schoolboy championships, and played golf all over the region in New Zealand, and just snowballed from there.
Did you have some golf heroes when you were growing up and getting on into your teen and later years? I know that Frank Nobilo is from New Zealand, and we know that Lydia Ko from the LPGA Tour is there. She wouldn't have been one of your heroes because she's younger, but that said, I think probably maybe the greatest name from New Zealand and one of the great players in history is Bob Charles, Sir Bob Charles.
Sir Bob, yeah.
First left-handed player to ever win a major. Tell me about Bob Charles and what he means to New Zealand.
Well, a great man, a pure gentleman. And it's funny you mentioned his name, because I've been picking his brain the last 6 months just before going on the Champions, just to feel for what to expect, and scheduling and all these sorts of things. I mean, how he went about playing. So he's been a great mentor, if you like, for me, just to make the transition.
So he's still very active in the New Zealand culture and life.
He is, absolutely.
He's in his mid-80s. He's a right-handed person, but played golf left-handed. And so what kind of advice did he give you getting ready to come to the Champions Tour?
Bob was very open, just talking about his schedule, how the transition from the PGA Tour, and he played European Tour before he went to Champions, how that transition happened, and what he did between that gap, sort of 48 to 50 age. So, and just about how he went about the game, how it was a little bit different to the PGA Tour, to the Champions. Not that he changed his game, he just maybe approached it a little bit differently. And I guess just playing the 3 days, he always said, you want to get off to a good start, be aggressive from the start, and that's what I've been doing.
Well, PGA Tour Champions is a very, very, very competitive tour, and it has become more and more competitive over the years, as you know, Stephen, than maybe back in the day when they first started it, sort of as an exhibition tour. And you have got game. You knew that you had game. And you've played golf all over the world, and you've won on the different tours you've played on, from the Australasian Tour to the Canadian Tour to what was the Nationwide Tour, then became the Web.com, now the Corn Ferry Tour. You won on all those tours, and on again, off again, you got your PGA Tour card early in the 2000s and then as late as 2014. Tell me about transitioning from playing all over the world and winning around the world, and then what was the struggles on the PGA Tour? Because I know that you played in something around 85 or 90 events,
right.
and it was a difficult time for you.
Yeah. Tell
Tell us about that PGA Tour experience.
Yeah, no, that's a good question. I mean, I think it kind of goes back to the environment you're in. I mean, it's basically, you know, when I got went to the PGA Tour, coming from the Nationwide Tour, or Corn Ferry it's called now, it's that transition was tough. You know, maybe I just didn't have the self-belief that I did kind of going through the transitioning and the smaller tours. So, you know, maybe that belief that the game was in there in certain parts, there's certain stuff I had to work on, but I never quite felt that I was that, you know, top 50 in the world kind of player. I mean, I might have got to 110 or 120, but so. Yeah, I mean maybe this is just a product of the environment I was in. So the Champions right now, I kind of feel like, well, I'm in a good environment. I feel good. I feel, you know, I shouldn't say comfortable because that's not a good word to use, but you know, I just feel good and confident.
Well, you knew how to win because you had won on all of these other tours.
Sure.
But coming to the PGA Tour, I guess that became a real challenge.
Yeah, it did.
So on and off the PGA Tour over the years, and then you said that over the last few years, you've been getting ready for the Champions Tour by doing the hard yards. What are the hard yards?
Well, just the grinding, basically. The hard yards. I mean, basically, I've done the hard yards playing the smaller tours in Australasia and Canadian tours and things. But, you know, as I say, I've played all over the world, and I think I brought all that experience in to gear up for the Champions Tour. Just use all that experience, basically. And doing the hard yards is just the preparation. That's kind of what I feel like the hard yards are, just doing the stuff in the gym, just staying fit, staying physically and mentally ready and prepared. So I like to be prepared. You know, the small things make a big difference, and that's what I kind of focus on.
And we need to be doing our hard yards as well to improve our game. When we come back with Steve Alker, I'm going to be talking about his rise on the PGA Tour Champions. Stay with me.
We'll be back with more match play right after these messages.
You've heard me talk about Squares golf shoes and how they help you hit the golf ball further. And many of you are saying, oh, come on, Faldo, give us a break. How is that possible? But yes, they do. And it's proven with science.
What we noticed with the Square shoes was the shoe keeps the pressure in a more stable fashion towards inside of the trail heel, allowing pressure to get to the lead side, generating much more club head speed and distance gain.
Visit squares.com. Change your shoes, change your game. Squares, the distance golf shoe.
The PGA Tour Champions are heating up. Who will take home the Charles Schwab Cup this year? The Charles Schwab Cup playoffs are gonna be legendary.
Introducing Flag Assist, the simple, easy-to-use pin attachment that's changing the way people play the game. Flag Assist attaches to the flag pin to allow for faster, easier ball retrieval while eliminating turf damage around the cup. Fully allowable under the rules of golf, Flag Assist is customizable, creating new avenues for course promotion, advertising revenue, and enhanced guest experiences. Visit flagassistgolf.com to see what it can do for your course.
Houdini? Wow, baby's got back.
Houdini.
Houdini, that's pretty cool.
I'm an escape artist myself.
So what is it?
The easiest clubs you'll ever play.
Is that Bernhard?
Oh great, Langer. You know why I play Tour Edge? Because I win with it.
Pound for pound, nothing comes close.
And now back to Match Play with your host, Ray Adams.
All right, welcome back to Match Play TV with Steve Alker today, my guest at the beautiful Eagle Mountain Golf Club, a Troon property right here in Fountain Hills, Arizona. Continuing to talk a little bit before we went to break, Stephen, about just your grit and your self-confidence. You knew you belonged out on the PGA Tour Champions. You had won professional events around the world, we said. What transition occurred with you just before you turned 50 on July the 28th this past summer?
Yeah, I don't know if I belonged out in the Champions Tour, but I kind of believed I could play well out in the Champions Tour. So that few months before going out, obviously I started playing some good golf. When golf was coming around, I was working on the right things and doing the right things, good results. But just a whole combination of everything, Ray, like just the support from family, just my fitness was a little bit better. And ultimately, I think it was just like the pure focus on just wanting to play out there, just this pure mission to actually go, that's where I want to play. This is my next chapter. This is another opportunity for me and my family, and just go at it.
All right, so in the weeks and months prior to you turning 50 at the end of July, you obviously had some things click for you, and then you Monday qualified in the first event that you were able to do after you turned 50 this past summer. Tell me about that experience.
Yeah, I mean, it's all very exciting and nervous and everything. I mean, it was a combination of everything. So I got to the course and I liked it. It kind of suited my game a little bit. You know, I had a little incident in 18 where you never know how you're doing that day. You know, it's just kind of like, whoa, should I be aggressive or not? And I come to a par 5 and thought, well, maybe I need one more birdie. And I went for the par 5 and hit it in the water and made bogey. And I thought, well, that might
I've never done that, so I don't know how that happened. Neither of you, I know.
So, you know, but my 4 under was good enough. And so, you know, all of a sudden it's like, whoa, you know, just kind of relief. I'm in the field.
So now you're in the field. Yeah. Your first PGA Tour Champions event, the Boeing. What happened?
Well, first thing is, you know, I got to the course. I have to go and see this course I've never seen. You know, now I'm amongst guys that I haven't seen forever or haven't ever played with. So I was straight into a Pro-Am. I was given a badge and said, you're on the tee at 7:10 a.m. in the Pro-Am next morning. I'm like, whoa, you know, what's going on? So that's just, you know, what happens every week. You're Pro-Amming and you're mixing it with people, and it's a great atmosphere. But so that was my experience. You're on the tee at 7:10. Away you go, Pro-Am. And that was my first look at the golf course. So, but it was an exciting week, and I went on to finish 7th and made a nice run on the back 9 and got in.
So that automatically puts you into the next week's event.
That's right.
Where you were in the top 10 again. And that puts you in the next week's event. See, all of this is about status, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Your years grinding on the other world tours, your years on and off the PGA Tour. So many of you players at every level of the professional game are looking for status. And that's a word that a lot of amateur players never think about. People like me, we never think about it. But you've got to have certain status. So you had no status on the Champions Tour, but because you were in these top 10s every week, how long did that last? You continued to be in the top 10s for what, 6 or 7 weeks?
Yeah, well, 8 of the first 9 weeks.
8 out of the first 9.
Yeah, I just kept going and going. It was great. But I got to backtrack a little bit if we talk about, you know, the exemptions on tour and being able to plan a schedule and everything like that. If we backtrack to the Corn Ferry Tour that I was preparing before the Champions, I had a whole wraparound season. Due to the COVID, my exemption on the Corn Ferry extended into 2021.
Okay.
And I was able to prepare and keep playing and stay competitive with these young guys. And I feel very fortunate for that. That was a huge bearing on kind of how I've done. And
so when they call it a developmental tour, it really is. I mean, it takes you to that next level, prepares you for the next level.
Absolutely, yeah.
Well, it certainly prepared you. So 8 out of the 9 weeks, you were in the top 10. And of course, you capped it off by winning the TimberTech tournament just a few weeks ago in early November. And what happened there, and how did your life change after this well, I called it a meteoric rise to the top. Stephen, a lot of people had never heard of you. And now you're very, very quickly becoming one of the top names in golf around the country, around the world for that matter even. I've said you might be one of the hottest players in the world right now, given what you've done. And it's true, in such a short period of time, $1 million about in prize money, tour money that you've earned in just about 3 months. Here's what some of the journalists and the golf writers are saying about you.
Oh yeah.
Outlandish. Outlandish. Amazing. Unexpected. Inexplicable. Are those words that describe what happened to you?
Yeah, quite possibly. I think so. I mean, it's just, you kind of dream. I like to dream a little bit, and this is kind of one of my dreams that have just come true.
Stephen, you then won the TimberTech, and that really must have changed your life. Tell me about that experience, and how did it change you?
Yeah, it did. Obviously, what come with it was, the win exemption. It got me into the final event of the season, Schwab Cup Championship, play a home game, which was great. And obviously it's just maybe there's a combination, just relief and excitement and just everything. Expectations kind of were lifted a little bit. So, but the win was amazing. I mean, that's what we play for. I think it had been 7 years since my last win on the Corn Ferry.
You beat Jim Furyk.
Yeah. Well,
and which I'm sure he wasn't happy about, because he was after longer for the total season-long Schwab Cup. Yeah. You beat my friend Miguel Angel Jimenez, so I'm not happy with you about that. No, I'm teasing. And Tim Petrovic too, our one of our staff golfers from Tourage. So it does change your life when you win, but you seem to be pretty much the same person as you've always been. Yeah. Tell me about your family and this tremendous success in such a compressed period of time. What about them?
Yeah, well, I mean, life-changing. Purely for the security side of things, like just knowing when we're on plane, we can have a schedule and plan everything. To, security money-wise, paying for college and that sort of thing. That's, it's been a tough few years. So just to have that is a bonus. And just for them, knowing that, I've got a place to play next year. And just all the work we've done. We've travelled all over the place, all over the world. We've lived in England, we've been in New Zealand. They've travelled everywhere, and they're only 17, 15. To know that we can have some stability.
Well, and you haven't played but about, 10 or 12. You did finish, by the way, he finished solo second at the Schwab Cup Championship. And that was another big payday and a great tournament for you. I mean, you were right there. Yeah. But you haven't played but 3 months of the Champions Tour. Yeah. So all of these tournaments starting in Hawaii next year, all the way through.
I'm looking forward to it. That's exciting.
Have you had a chance to exhale?
Not really. This week's just been kind of crazy. Just talking to family and everything. It's been unreal. And support from everybody, not just in New Zealand, but over here and friends and family. So,
did you get a chance to talk to Bob Charles along the way, or did he contact you about the win?
He emailed me.
He emailed, okay.
He and Verity. They're amazing people. I mean, they're just what they do for golf and golf in New Zealand, everything.
All right, when we come back with Steve Alker on Match Play TV, we're going to talk to him about his equipment and the things he's doing to get ready for the Champions Tour in 2022. Stay with me.
We'll be back with more Match Play right after these messages.
Bobby Jones, 30 years of classic style for the modern man, now brings you the Jones Performance Cotton Polo. Lightweight and luxurious cotton hand feel with moisture-wicking comfort. The Jones Performance Cotton Polo is engineered with an exclusive blend of carefully selected cotton and the optimal balance of modal and spandex. It's the perfect combination of classic styling and modern fabric technology. Designed for comfort, engineered for performance, and built to last. Look good and stay comfortable, whether you're out on the town or out on the course. The Jones Performance Cotton features a 3-button placket with the iconic Bobby Jones player embroidery. For superior comfort, style, and versatility. Get it all in the Jones Performance Cotton Polo.
Augusta Ranch Golf Club in Mesa has been voted the best executive course in Arizona, challenging for all levels of players. It's family friendly and fun. Plus, it won't take you all day to play. There's an excellent practice range with PGA professionals to help you with your game, and be sure to enjoy delicious food and beverages at the Scratch Pub and Grill. Make your next tee time at Augusta Ranch Golf Club by calling 480-354-1234 or by going to AugustaRanchGolf.com.
Golf only exists because it's fun.
What is special about golf is the relationships.
Being out there with your family, your friends, so many different chances and opportunities are presented from the game of golf.
Touring is brilliant. It's always first-class experiences. Courses that they run, they want it to be as good as possible, and it makes a big difference for the experience.
Why wouldn't you select Troon? You're selecting the best of the best. You know the quality you're getting, you know the experience you're getting. There's nobody better.
And now back to Match Play with your host, Ray Adams.
All right, welcome back with Steve Alker on Match Play TV. Steven, you have had fun. You've had nerve-wracking experiences. You've had tremendous financial success. We've talked about it. Tell me about what you're going to do now in this short but important off-season. Mm-hmm. Are you going to get a chance to exhale? And tell me about your equipment and your training. What are you going to do to get ready for that 2022 season where you've got all those courses and all those events that you've never played?
Yeah, sure. No, good question. I mean, this is kind of the guts of it before we start, because this is the important part, the preparation, the training. I like to do a lot of off-season training on the body, really work on that. I don't feel like playing golf at all right now. I mean, I really don't know. I got a putting green in the back garden, but I like to putt and chip a little bit, so I don't even have to go to the golf course. But I really work hard on the body, because that's kind of my preparation for the long season and just getting, so I can swing the club how I want to. You know, that's huge. So equipment-wise, I'm working with New Level, my irons. That's the company I've been with for a couple of years. They've been great, just getting me together and getting my stuff all dialed in. But I've got a whole mixed bag, Ray. I've got
You do?
Yeah, I got Colorway and I got Tour Edge.
Yeah, you gamed a Tour Edge hybrid.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I put it in this year. The guy set me up, which is great. So if I'm not using the hybrid, I'll switch to a 4-iron. Yeah. And then I'll switch back depending on the courses. So it really depends. Titleist wedges, Odyssey putter. You know, I got a whole mixed bag, and that's kind of like how I like to be right now. Just kind of, I like trying stuff, experimenting a little bit. I'm not a big tinkerer, but I just like to experiment and make sure what I'm using is best for me.
All right, Stephen, you're wearing the New Level cap and you're playing with New Level irons. Tell me a little bit more about New Level, because I don't really know much about them.
Yeah, new company here in Scottsdale, just down by the air park.
Oh, okay.
They're doing great online. Eric Birch down there is the designer and owner of the company. Does all his own stuff. A lot of models are from like Japanese models like Honmas and Mizunos, but he's designing some hybrids. He's got some utility irons, and he even wants to get into the drivers. So that's a whole different market again. But his irons are fantastic, and if you get a chance to look online, check them out. Yeah.
Okay, very good. All right, now you talked about taking time off from golf right now, and that you really didn't even feel like playing golf. I think for the viewers, that's an important point, that it's okay to take time away from the game if you're having success, or if you're stalled at a certain place and you're not doing so well, like so many of us amateurs. Tell the folks about taking time off and how important is that?
Yeah, very important, because sometimes, you know, you're going through the motions in golf sometimes, and you just kind of get lost a little bit. You're trying things, or you get into some bad habits. For me, taking time off is working on something else. So I might be working on my body, or I might just go putt. I might putt for 2 weeks and just chipping, putting. That's all I work on, short game. But for me, I've had a long season. I've played more than I usually do. So this is downtime, this is off time, but a family time, do the school runs, make the lunches, all that stuff.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah, it's really cool. So
well, you've got two teenage kids at home that are in high school, and I know that keeps you a busy dad, and of course your wife. What are your off golf course activities that you like to do personally? It may be other sports. There may be some charity work that you like to do. Tell me a little bit about Steven Alker off the golf course.
Yeah, not a whole lot. I'm kind of boring, really, to be honest.
He's boring.
Yeah, I'm boring. But no, I like to hang in the garden and potter around in the backyard. It's a little bit different. To
You grow in
New Zealand.
flowers.
Well, I like to plant. I mean, most of them die, but I mean, no, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But it's different in New Zealand. We don't have the grasses and we've got different trees. So I just like shifting rock and moving, replanting and just experimenting. But that's just, I kind of like doing that, but just spending time with the kids. Now they're teenagers, they're into lots of different things and doing that. Just spending time with them because it's tough, 25, 27 weeks on the road this year. That's a lot of time away from the family. So,
What's it like being out on the Champions Tour for 3 months with this kind of success and all these great players that you looked up to, many of them like Bernhard Langer, who is considerably older than you, and there are others that are older than you, and then beating Jim Furyk and playing with him in the final group in the tournament that you won. Are they giving you the rib a little bit? Have you got in their head a little bit? What's going on with that?
Maybe, but it's to me, it's awe-inspiring. I mean, just to be amongst those guys, it's a privilege. I mean, I'm honored. So to be out there playing with these guys, I'm learning things, I mean, I think now that a lot of guys have matured, I think they've kind of softened up and they're very approachable. I can go ahead and ask them anything I want. Larry Miser hit him up on the putting green one day. I just said, Larry, I love your putting stroke and I'd like to implement some of what you do. And he was quite happy to openly talk about that, just talking about schedules to guys and what courses they
Who do you like playing with the most so far?
I haven't had a bad guy to play with.
Practice rounds, pro-ams, tournament play.
Well, you know what? Bernhard Langer was amazing. He just surprised me a little bit. I played with a practice round with him in Pebble Beach, just a quick story. And he hadn't been out to Spyglass Hill in like 20 years. He'd played Pebble, obviously, but Spyglass hadn't seen the course. And I didn't realise this. When we got 3 or 4 holes into the practice round, and he's working hard, he's chipping and putting, and he's got his yardage book, and he's working with Terry, his caddy, and the round took like 5.5 hours. I'm like, Bernhard, have you ever played here? What's going on? Why don't you just ride around and just take a look? And he says, I haven't seen this course for 20 years. I want to make sure it's all right. And he went run second that week. But it was just like, it was like a 15-year-old going out and doing a practice.
He was doing the hard yards.
He was doing the hard yards.
The hard yards.
And that was, to me, that was just like, whoa, blew me away. And that's Bernhard Langer for you.
And at 64 years old, wins the Schwab Cup a season long for the 6th time. And
amazing.
He's been on this television show, strong man of faith, and just a great person all the way around. We're hoping to get a lot more of Bernhard Langer at the Champions Tour. Phil Mickelson coming out.
Yeah.
Going to make a big movement on the needle for the PGA Tour Champions.
Sure, we need guys like him. I mean, Podrick Harrington's coming up. There's a bunch of new guys coming, young guys we call them now, don't we? The young guys coming up, so yeah, the Champions Tour, PGA Tour Champions need those guys, and that's what it's all about, having the legends there and the names. That's big.
All right, Steven Alker, thank you so much for being with me today on Match Play TV. We are going to be rooting for you all through 2022. I know you're going to be getting out there and checking out those new courses and the new tournament schedule for you. Much more success to come for Steven Alker. We've learned a lot. We've had some fun. Keep doing those hard yards, folks. I've got to start mine. Thanks, Steven, so much again for being with me today. And more to come on Match Play TV. Stay tuned.
Ridgeback. Ridgeback? That's pretty cool. So it's a brace for the face?
Ridgeback. Like the dog?
I'm really a cat guy.
So what is it? The best feeling and longest metalwoods you'll ever hit.
Was that Bernhard?
Oh, great. Langer.
You know why I play Tour Edge? Because I win with it.
Pound for pound, nothing comes close.